This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Now at 6, 2 more Hoosiers diagnosed with coronavirus. The total number of confirmed cases in our state now stands at 6.
Vice President called me on Saturday as well. This is our second phone call on a weekly basis. They're wanting to make sure that we have what we need. We do have what we need at the moment.
As coronavirus spreads, we take your questions to Indiana's top elected official, what Governor Holcomb is saying tonight.
Indiana University takes an urgent step to keep students and faculty safe. The impact this will have on students studying on all IU campuses.
Temperatures bounce around over the next week. We'll talk about when we may see a rain-snow mix.
And for the first time since an RTV6 exclusive report on an alleged sexual misconduct case at Tri-West High School, the Northwest Hendricks School Board is meeting. We are live with what to expect.
Good evening. First up here at 6 o'clock, the state confirms 2 more cases of coronavirus in Indiana.
And there is now a total of 6 people who have been diagnosed with the virus in the Hoosier state. And today, a coronavirus case was confirmed in Boone County, and there was a person diagnosed with it in Adams County. That's in Northeast Indiana. Other positive tests include 1 case in Marion County, 2 in Hendricks County, and 1 in Noble County. Boone County health officials say a woman contracted coronavirus and she is self-isolating in her home. They say her symptoms were mild. It's unclear how she came into contact with coronavirus. We do not have information on the person diagnosed in Adams County. As we've previously reported, a child in Avon has coronavirus, prompting the district to shut down until after spring break on April 6th. That child is in isolation at home. An adult in Hendricks County and an adult in Marion County are also self-quarantining after getting coronavirus. In Noble County, a patient is being isolated at a local hospital in Kendallville after testing positive.
As the virus continues to spread, RTV6's Stephanie Wade goes to the top state official today to get your questions answered.
Governor Holcomb tells me he is having weekly phone calls with the vice president, making sure we have the resources and agencies in place to handle the spread of the coronavirus.
How prepared do you think we are as a state for the virus?
We're remarkably prepared, and you're seeing that play out right now in our coordination. Again, this is all about staying informed to the facts on the ground as they change, and they will continue to change.
We're ready and quickly adapting. That's the message from the governor tonight after 2 more confirmed cases of the coronavirus Tuesday, making the total of 6 cases in Indiana right now.
We plan to, through the State Department of Health, continue to put out up-to-date information on a daily basis. We'll do press conferences in person as well when they're needed, but I encourage every citizen to, if they feel flu-like symptoms coming on, they need to get in touch with their healthcare provider first and foremost, with their doctor. That's where you're going to get the proper guidance in terms of your health.
The governor says they will be requesting more test kits as they dwindle down, and the state continues to test symptomatic patients. He's also encouraging employers to work with their employees, as we see school districts like Avon Community Schools taking action after 2 students showed symptoms.
Governor, what's your reaction to Avon closing its schools yesterday?
Well, they made the right decision for them.
To folks at home.
What can you say and what can you tell Hoosiers who might be fearful or afraid of the coronavirus?
Well, there's no fear. We need to be prepared.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
And the Indiana State Health Department also has a 24-hour hotline. You'll want to jot down these numbers. The call center has received nearly 900 calls since March 6th from healthcare providers and the public. From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., call 317-233-7125. Calls after 8 p.m. should go to 317-233-1325. And tonight we're learning that Indiana University is suspending in-person classes on all campuses in response to coronavirus concerns. That will go into effect after the university's scheduled spring break next week. Students on all IU campuses will be taught remotely for 2 weeks from March 23rd through April 5th. In-person classes are set to resume on April 6th. IU says there have been no confirmed cases of coronavirus on any of their campuses. 2 IU students have been diagnosed with coronavirus following trips to other countries, but they are receiving care in their home cities and have not been to any IU campus since.
RTV6's Rafael Sanchez sat down for a Facebook Live interview with Dr. Cole Beeler, the medical director of infection prevention at IU Health University Hospital in Indianapolis. Rafael asked him some of the questions you had. One of the main questions: how do you know if you have the flu or coronavirus?
Flu or coronavirus, kind of the guidance is the same. You want to avoid large groups of people so that you don't pass the disease on. You want to make sure you cover your mouth, cover your sneeze, wash your hands. These are what we call kind of general horizontal measures of infection prevention to protect yourself and your loved ones. Because you're exactly right. I mean, this is a disease process that's very similar to the flu. COVID and flu have overlapping symptomatology, meaning that they're going to present very similar. Flu tends to hit you a little bit faster and a little bit harder than COVID does, which tends to drag on and may have milder symptoms, at least to start out. But it's very confusing for even physicians to be able to tease out what might be or what might not be COVID. So right now we're really hanging our hat on any sort of travel history or any sort of exposure to areas that have been known to have COVID. So travel outside the United States, but also even within the United States, certain areas and conferences that have had known cases are risk factors.
And if you still have questions about coronavirus, watch our entire interview with Dr. Cole Beeler from IU Health. That's up right now on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com. And some health officials now say coronavirus can live on glass, metal, and plastic surfaces for more than a week. That includes your cell phone. So Apple says it's okay to use Clorox disinfecting wipes, and 70% isopropyl alcohol on its products, including the iPhone.
And right now, fans have been removed from the front row near where players are warming up at Bankers Life Fieldhouse for the Pacers-Celtics game. This is to protect the players from coronavirus. It's not yet clear if fans will be allowed to sit in the front row or the actual game or not. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Once again, we want to remind you of the ways you can protect yourself from coronavirus. The CDC says wash your hands with soap and water and scrub for at least 20 seconds, or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Don't touch your nose, eyes, or mouth, and stay home when you're sick. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces using regular household cleaning sprays or wipes.
And there's a lot of misinformation when it comes to coronavirus, and the situation is changing every day. That's why our Scripps national team is getting answers to your questions. Watch the special report, Coronavirus, the Facts, this Friday at 7 o'clock, only here on RTV6. And you can find the latest developments about the outbreak anytime on our website at theindychannel.com/coronavirus.
Switching gears here, although the rain has moved out, the clouds are still in place.
Kevin is now focused on falling temperatures. Kevin, how cold will we get?
We're headed to the 30s, and it's how warm we were this morning. That's the change that we're talking about. 57, that was our high this morning. 525, maybe you weren't even up yet. We're down to 43 now. The wind will not be as strong tonight, but it's out of a colder direction, as you can see. Northwest wind, 10 to 15, will calm down to 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clouds are going nowhere. You get north of Peru, there's some breaks in the cloud cover, and that line has been trying to drop to the south. I don't think it'll be successful. Rain returns late Thursday into Thursday night. That's the next most likely time. Rain left behind as we've made the transition to the cooler temperatures. 3/4 of an inch in Bloomington, 1/4 of an inch in Lafayette, not nearly as much in Indy. That cold wind continues, but it will calm down. Temperatures tonight will fall where you're already in the 30s to the northwest, will fall into the 30s by morning in Indy, but 41 and mostly cloudy at 11 o'clock tonight.
Tonight, the Northwest Hendricks School Board is meeting for the first time since RTV6's exclusive story revealed more about the sexual misconduct allegations between a teacher and a student at Tri-West High School. The teacher in question, Tyler Bruce, is on unpaid suspension right now. A former Tri-West employee showed us the surveillance videos that prompted him to contact authorities about the alleged relationship. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker is live at Tri-West High School now. And Cornelius, what are we expecting to happen tonight?
Yeah, Mark, as you can see, this room is already starting to fill up with people coming here to the first board meeting since that video showing Tyler Bruce going into a room with that student was made public. Now, Dave Pyatt, he is the one who gave us the video, and he was the attendance secretary before being fired last week. Now, his firing has upset many people in the community because they felt like he did the right thing by reporting what he saw and giving that video to us.
Firing Dave Pyatt was really a catalyst for the community. The community has really come together on Facebook, emails, elsewhere, and has really started to spread the word about what really went down with these decisions and the way the board has handled these accusations in this case.
Now, Tyler Bruce was arrested back in January on child seduction and obstruction of justice charges, and he's now on unpaid administrative leave. But of course, the board will more than likely not address those allegations directly, opting to talk to us through their PR person. And tonight on RTV6 News at 11, I'll have a full report on what happened at this meeting. Live in Liston, working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
And an Elwood Junior Senior High School employee has been terminated following an internal investigation. The Elwood Police Department received information about a staff member at Elwood Community Schools regarding alleged misconduct with a student. The chief says the incident is under investigation and paperwork will be submitted to the prosecutor's office for review. On February 17th, Elwood Community School Corporation Administration was informed of a tip the Indiana State Police received concerning an allegation involving an employee at Elwood Junior Senior High School. The employee was placed on administrative leave pending district and law enforcement investigations, according to the superintendent. Now, the school board terminated the employee on February 27th.
Take diligent investigators and add in 20 years worth of technological advances and you get a murder solved. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office has now charged William Swain with the October 2000 sexual assault and murder of Arthur McFall. McFalls was found in a motel room and he had been strangled. Investigators were able to get DNA from scratches on his neck and fingerprints from the scene. But in 2000, the technology just wasn't as sophisticated yet when it came to tracking and linking cases.
And, they didn't have cell phone evidence to rely on, a lot of the tools that we use now to try to solve these cases. And so they didn't have a lot of leads about who was even in the hotel room with the victim. But what they did do is they did a good job of preserving everything.
Investigators say a fingerprint found at the crime scene eventually matched that of Swain. Prosecutors also say Swain's DNA was determined to match DNA that was found on wounds to McFall's neck. Both were used in the FBI's DNA database to match up with Swain, who was put into the system after a 2018 arrest for theft. Tonight, IMPD needs your help to identify these 3 men who are accused in connection to an armed robbery. Metro Police tell us 2 of the men went into Barry's Pizza on West Morris Street on the southwest side on February 12th, and the other man stayed outside. Officers say the 2 men robbed the business and 2 customers at gunpoint. If you recognize any of these men, call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS. You may be eligible for a cash reward of up to $1,000 for information that leads to an arrest. Indiana's fight against distracted driving is one swipe of a pen away from becoming law.
We'll show you what the hands-free law could mean for you and an update on the penalties if you get caught with a cell phone in your hand while driving.
The Pacers are back home after nearly 2 weeks on the road. They've got a potential playoff rival here tonight. I'm Brad Brown, live at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. We'll get you set for the Pacers and the Celtics coming up in sports.
And we are set to focus on rain chances and our temperature trend even beyond the 7-day forecast. Just want to show you the rain we had this morning well to the south and east of the Hoosier State. More rain and even some snow showers to our northwest. We'll have the details of what's ahead for us coming up.
Get the perfect match that will set them up for success.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
And just into the RTV6 newsroom, Purdue University has announced its plans to keep students and staff safe from the coronavirus. The school is asking faculty to teach courses online only, avoiding in-person classes. This will be mandatory once students return from spring break on March 23rd. Purdue is also asking faculty to accommodate students who are feeling sick. There have not been any recorded cases of COVID-19 on Purdue's campus. Indiana's new crackdown on distracted driving is one signature away from becoming becoming law.
The bill prohibiting holding your phone while driving is at the governor's desk. You would still be able to use your phone while driving, but it would have to be on Bluetooth or speakerphone. A new change to the bill: you couldn't get points on your license if you violate the law until 2021. So when the calendar changes to 2021, you would start to rack up points on your license if you're caught violating the hands-free law. But you could still be ticketed beginning July 1st of this year. Kevin.
You could be hands-free from the umbrella for a little bit. We don't have rain in the forecast tonight. Tomorrow, really dry as well. It's late Thursday that our rain chances will come back. And I'll mention Saturday night, we could have a couple of snowflakes mix in with some rain as colder air is around for the weekend. Temperatures the next 24 to 48 hours fairly mild, and then we fall off to end the work week, and we're cooler for the weekend. Almost there, the average high 49, so we're almost to the average high of 50. This takes us beyond the 7-day forecast. This is the 8 to 14-day outlook, and if you go March 18th through the 24th, looks like cold snap western half or 2/3 of the country right now. The way it shows, we've got mild temperatures on our side of the jet stream, and that will mean above average temperatures and rainfall as well. And as we step into spring, I'll mention next week is severe weather preparedness week, and with above average temperatures, storms like warm temperatures. So we'll wait and see how this plays out as we move through the rest of March and into April. No storms to worry about tonight. No rain either. Cloudy skies across central Indiana. We've had plenty of rain in the state this year. The ground moisture is very high, which means that when we have a big rain event, it'll be easier to cause flooding because we can't handle much in the way of rainfall. Just under 0.8 of an inch in Bloomington. That was the exception on the high side. Temperatures in the 40s, 41 in Zionsville, 44 in Edinburgh. Remember, we started in the 50s this morning. That cooler air continues to flow from northwest to southeast. Will push the mild temperatures more south of the Ohio River. We'll wake up to temperatures generally in the 30s. Here are the temperatures tomorrow morning with a south wind becoming northwest, and it will be rather light, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Finally, a break from windy conditions through the day. Lots of cloud cover around. Will be dry. Temperatures in the middle to upper 50s. Temperatures on Thursday will be the warmest of the week. I also mentioned Thursday, marginal or low risk for any strong to severe storms. Keep our eye on that. I think the better chance will be south of the Ohio River. Our chance for rain will increase late Thursday. Temperatures in the low 60s then. That sets us up for falling temperatures Friday. 51 degrees in the 40s both Saturday and Sunday. And then we start working our way toward above average temperatures once again, and accomplished a mission on Tuesday at 61.
Who's ready for that?
Yeah.
Always.
This guy. Right.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. And we have Brad here with sports, and he's at Bankers Life.
Indeed, we're seeing green tonight at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. A whole lot of it, in fact. The Celtics are here this evening, and Otis Jones, my photographer, pointed out a lot of Celtics fans here. There are indeed. This is going to turn out to be a big game here as we get into this final 5 weeks of the regular season. Remember, this was the first-round playoff matchup a year ago when the Pacers got swept out 4-zip against Boston in round 1. It's not out of the question that could be the case again. Let's take a look at the standings in the Eastern Conference. Right now, the Pacers are trying to work their way above that line into 4th place. That would get them home court right now. Pacers are behind Miami right now, and Boston sits in 3rd. So there would have to be a little shuffling take place before the Pacers work their way into a spot against the Celtics. But a win here tonight would certainly move Indiana in the right direction to get home court for round number 1. Now, the Pacers' recent surge after the All-Star break has garnered them some more attention among the national media. That includes ESPN analyst Mark Jones, who was recently in town. Our Dave First had a chance to catch up with him and bring you some of that in tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight.
With about a month left in the regular season, it's essentially the home stretch for the Pacers, and no one's more intrigued than some of the national media.
I think when people think about Indiana and the Pacers, you look at how well they've been able to do so far this year. Actually, I think about them overachieving.
Mr. Sabonis has been doing a thing or two.
That includes ESPN, who's already aired 3 nationally televised Pacer games, with at least 2 more on the way.
I think this team has tremendous potential in terms of being a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference.
Mark Jones, Mark Jones has been in the middle of it all, seeing the blue and gold up close And for many years, the Toronto native, who now lives in Miami, a staple of the network's basketball coverage.
How long have you been doing this now?
29 years at ESPN, man. This is going to be my 30th year in June. I consider myself the most fortunate and blessed guy on the planet, man. I get to sit down and see the world's greatest athletes run up and down the basketball court and talk about them and sit next to Hubie Brown, Doris Burke, Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy.
I love the Rockets.
All a part of the network's TV and digital contract extension reached a few years ago and is set to continue through at least the 2024-25 season.
I mean, outside of the travel and all that, when you sit down in front of an NBA, I mean, this beats working for a living, right?
Oh, yeah, it does. It does. I always say, they pay me to travel. You know, the work, quote, part is the fun part.
And he wouldn't mind if that fun continues by covering the Pacers in a long postseason run.
Being able to piece it together in such a way that, you know, being just on the outskirts of a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, and having a really good first half of the season, and now with Victor Oladipo coming back, this is where the real season, the intrigue begins.
Mark's one of the best in the business. Thank him for the time. Noon game today for the IUPUI women, and it was worth getting up early for. The Jags clinched their first ever Horizon League Tournament championship with a win over Green Bay, and they punched their ticket for the very first time to the NCAA tournament. Holly Hoopengarner led the way with 16 points. She was named the tournament's MVP. The Jags likely to be a 13 or 14 seed next week. The NCAA will announce the field of 64 for the women's tournament coming up on Monday night. Congrats to Coach Austin Parkinson and the entire program. We'll have highlights of this one coming up for you tonight on the News at 11. If you're wondering if the crowd has turned out, they have. Should be a good crowd for this one here tonight. Pacers play 6 of their next 7 at home. Be back here after the Big Ten tournament for more home games next week. Back for more of the News at 6 in studio after one more break.
Welcome back. Today's RTV6 photo of the day is a beautiful one.
Tammy Driver sent us this picture of flowers pushing through the ground in Columbus, Indiana, a sign that spring isn't too far off.
We have had warmer weather recently, so we might just see a few more flowers start popping up there. Hey, by the way, the first day of spring is Thursday, March 19th. That's only 9 days away. Thanks to Tammy Driver for sending in this delightful picture there.
And I'd like to know what kind of flowers these are, so please send us in if you know what they are.
Yeah, tell us. Email your photo of the day to news@WRTV.com. If we choose your picture, we'll air it here on the News at 6. Again, that email is news@WRTV.com.
And let's share one more photo. We're doing some painting here at the station. So I went out to check. The first coat looks tremendous. And I'll keep you posted on how the painting is going.
And your dry cleaning.
Oh, wait, did I get something?
Oh, don't turn around. We'll see you back here at 7.
Look what I have to put up with.